All right now, Shalom, Shalom. It's the brother Zechariah coming back to you with another Highways and Byways lesson. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakudash. Double honors to the elders of the nation of Israel. Shalom to you brothers out there laboring during the elements, making your body a living sacrifice, trying to seal the elect, and also making your calling and election assured. And to you sisters out there that are learning, listening, and applying to being obedient to your husband, shalom, shalom. Again, it's the brother Zechariah coming back to you with another lesson. And this lesson here is going to be called the wheat and the tares. Yes, the wheat and the tares. And it's a very touchy type subject because I didn't really want to get into it, but I felt like, you know, like, okay, this I have to get into it, man. Just because, you know, well, we'll talk about it here in a little bit. Let me hit y'all with some scriptures real quick. You know, the scriptures also tell you not all Israel is Israel. You know what I'm saying? But that's actually talking about like those that are Israelites. You are Israelite and everything. You descendant of Jacob, but they not Israel because they're not doing what Israel's supposed to be doing. You know, that's your 2/3. But this here, the wheat and tares, is going into like those that you know, you might be brought up under Israel and stuff like that, but your lineage, your father goes back to a heathen, you know, and we're gonna bring that out. But I'm gonna go ahead and go to the book of Jude, and this is the 1st chapter and 4th verse. For there are certain men crept in unawares, who were before of old ordained to this condemnation, ungodly men, turning the grace of our God into lasciviousness. Hope I'm saying that word right. Salakia, y'all, if I'm butchering it. And denying the only Lord God and our Lord Yahweh Shai. You know, I wasn't gonna say that J word, man. I got to, you know, especially when we know that's not his name, so I really don't like saying that. But yeah, you got men crept in unawares, man. You can also apply that to like agents and things like that as well, spies and stuff like that. This is why you always got to be circumspect in this thing, man. Because this truth, this is everything right here. This right here, man, it's power in this, man. Makes me think of that movie, The Book of Eli, where that dude said, it's a weapon. But he wanted because he was hunting for that book, man. He wanted that Bible. He knew the power of that book, man. He said he could rule towns and cities and everything with that. He wanted that book, man. But anyways, man, we're gonna move to another scripture real quick. This is the book of Galatians, chapter 2, verse 4. And that because of false brethren unawares brought in, who came in privily to spy out our liberty, which we have in our Lord Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, that they might bring us into bondage. Wow. But yeah, the reason for this lesson is I came across a brother locally. I know him locally, and you know, from doing music back in the day. Like we only did like one song, I believe, but like I've known him. I've done shows, you know, me and him done shows together and all that. This brother, and but I noticed something different. You know, one of the guys that was part of my band back then, like he was telling me that he made some change. He's like, man, I don't know, like some type of religion or something. And I guess he was thinking Muslim because I don't know why they get us confused with Islam and stuff like that. But it is what it is. You know, I guess they hear we don't eat pork, so they try to do that and stuff. But hey, we nothing like that religion. You know, that ain't ours. Which I might bring out some information as far as Islam too. You know, you stay tuned to this lesson. But what I noticed about this brother is that you know, he's wearing fringes, and which that's not a bad thing. You know, I know there's been brothers that laugh and make jokes and talk about. I would never be a brother that do that. You know what I'm saying? Because that to me is wicked. I don't care what nobody say. If a brother wants to wear fringes, you know, day in, day out, let him. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not going to condemn you or nothing. What's your problem with that? You know what I'm saying? I've never been that type of brother, man. I think it's a beautiful thing seeing it. I wore mine one time at Kroger, and a brother actually seen it and commended me on it. He didn't have none on, but he commended me. He said, "I see your fringes and stuff like that," and he said, "Salute." And so he knew what was up. And I was like, "Oh man!" I ran into a family. It was a woman, and she was out there with her kids or whatever. And the little boy, he had, they all had fringes on, but the boy saw mine's, and I mean, young little boy, and he ran up to me, man, and just had the biggest smile. I mean, he was happy seeing a brother out there with fringes on, and it just made his day, man. So, and she smiled. They all waved and stuff. Very friendly people, man. Good spirit. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, man. I wear them, so there's nothing wrong with that. But I seen this brother wearing them, and this is the kicker, because, like I said, we only did like one song, but I've known a lot about him. We've been friends on social media and things for years. Come to find out, like, I know the brother's father. His dad is an Edomite. His mom is a Jake. So I was kind of like, I'm scratching my head. I'm like, hold up, okay, this brother got fringes on, and I'm scrolling through the pictures, and here, as I'm talking, I could pull up these pictures and show you, man. Like, like this one right here. This is a picture of him and his family. This is him over there with the cornrows and everything. That's his mom sitting down. Those are his sisters, and that's the father right there. That's an Edomite, man. Now, we understand that there are some Edomites that, you could be an Edomite. I have a younger brother. Like I said, he looks like an Edomite, and he's a Jake. We know his lineage. But this brother has always said that his father is a so-called white man. And I'm looking at this, and I'm like, so I'm scratching my head. And it makes me wonder if maybe, he's always talking about his mom more than anything. So, I don't know if maybe some of them, his kinfolk on his mom's side, woke up to the truth, and maybe they got him involved in it. But I'm kind of like, if he's doing all this, he's doing it in vain. You know what I'm saying? Because he's obviously not Israel. But, I know it's not something that we're not supposed to go and point out. Like, I'm not going to run up to him and tell him, hey, you need to stop doing what you're doing, whatever, because that's not our job, which I'm going to go into the scriptures on that. But I just wanted to show y'all that just because someone has the fringes on, someone is teaching and everything. I mean, he's saying Yah a lot. Now, if you look at these pictures, this is another picture right here of his father. Him and his father, they're holding certificates. And if you look closely, he has on fringes, Now, the dad doesn't. He's just, he's an Edomite, Here's a picture of him and his rib, his wife, and she's an Edomite. So he's married to an Edomite, which I know there's going to be a lot of brothers that say things. There's brothers in this truth that have heathen wives, as we speak, Me personally, I mean, it's just me right now. I'm not dealing with any woman. I'm just focused on doing the work. I'm a eunuch in this thing, because, to me, it's a distraction. And I love, my time, just me focused on doing the work and not having that, over my head, you know what I'm saying? But they'll say that, yeah, we can have heathen wives, but we know when you go into like Deuteronomy, which, matter of fact, I could pull that up. Well, hold on. Before I pull it up real quick, just go through some of the other pictures. Like, this is one of him right here. And it's like, finally, I got my baby next to me. All praises to the Most High. And he's saying Yahweh. He's got Yahweh. But I've looked on this page, and he has put Yah. I think he even said Yahuwah, maybe. I'm not 100% sure. I think he said one of the other names, too. So it was kind of confusion when you're saying all these different names. But he did say Yahweh. So I'm like, he could be listening to various camps and stuff. Here's another picture here. Him with his father. Right there. And I looked up his name, his last name, and his father. That traces back. That's like one of those Edomite last names too, man. Like them over in like Europe and stuff like that. I forget which nation or whatever. I don't know. Maybe I might look it up and bring it out again in this lesson. But I'm going to go ahead and bring out Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verses 3 through 4. Because a lot of jakes will say things like, yeah, our forefathers had heathen wives, and that's true. You know, they'll even go as far as saying King David did. And I'm like, yeah, but you're not King David. I'm not saying like you can't have him, you know, only he could have him. We know that's not the case, because the scriptures also tell us, like when we went into wars, you know, the spoils of war. And if you took down a nation and there was a woman you see of your liking, then you could take her as your wife and everything. It was a process with that, you know. But just running around, like right now in Babylon, we're technically in captivity. So I don't know if it's wise to really do that while we're in captivity. That's my personal opinion. I don't know, you know, but brothers you can do what you want to do, I guess, man, if you want to, you know. Me, I'd rather deal with a woman of our nation, you know, because we always talk about Eve is wicked, and it's true, but not every single one of them. We got sincere sisters in this truth. Remember, there were women that cried, man, when Yahweh Shai hung on that cross, man. And also, we know that there are going to be more women delivered than men. So that's something to think about. When you say all women going to die, that's a lie. A lot of brothers always say that. I'll never come out of my mouth, because I know that's not the case. It's going to be more women. Because that's why there's going to be 7 women, you know, which 7 means completion, but all, you know, 7 women are going to cleave to one man. You know, that's Isaiah 4:1. But check this out. Deuteronomy 7, verses 3 through 4. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter shalt not give unto his son, or his daughter shall not take unto thy son. See, this is going both ways. It's talking about the men and women, because they love to bring out the women, but they don't ever talk about the man. For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you, and destroy ye suddenly. So that's one of the reasons why. It's because they'll turn you away from Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Now, if you a grounded man and you dealing with a heathen woman, who's to say anything about that? That's the point. It's like it could turn away. Now, if that woman is not, like, for example, let's say y'all have kids together. If she's not into her customs, which, you know, she's not having your son out there or your daughter out there, you know, doing Halloween, Christmas, and all those other things, then hey, who's to say anything? But the point is that she might be into all that, and she's not down with this truth, you know, like you are. But you keeping her around because, you know, God knows what, you know, maybe it's for sex or whatever, or maybe it's because she spoils you, she takes care of you, you know. There's brothers in this truth that don't work, so they ribs be out there providing for the home, and they just use, you know, they say, you know, which that's another lesson going into that. You know, me personally, you know, I look at you different if you know, yeah, you might be doing the work, but you're not. And if you have a family, especially if you have a family and you're not providing for your family, but you trying to say, well, I'm out here doing the work of the Lord, but you not providing for your family, because there's penalties for that too in the scriptures. But yeah, that's I wanted to bring that out. Because, you know, and I believe I actually came across a video, man. It was deep, but I think in the book of Judges it goes into the fact that it was mainly the southern kingdom, you know, coming over into Africa. A lot of our forefathers and stuff like that, they were giving their sons and their daughters over dealing with those Hamites, you know, and that's in the scriptures. So you know, that's something just showing you, man. You know, dealing with those heathens, man. And of course, when you read that in the book of Judges, the results of that is we ended up following them other gods, getting into all that stuff that they were doing and stuff like that. Just pure wickedness, man. But now I'm gonna move on to the book of Tobit, and this is chapter 4, And I'm going to read chapters 12 through 13. So give me a second as I get it pulled up. All right, here we go. Beware of all whoredom, my son, and chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers, and take not a strange woman to wife, which is not thy father's tribe. For we are the children of the prophets, Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning, even that, all married wives of their own kindred, and were blessed in their children, and their seed shall inherit the land. See, our children will inherit the land. Now, yes, yeah, we know that we over time dealt with heathen women, but look at the consequences, because a lot of that stuff, you look at a lot of our people today, and they might have heathen mothers. Even if they have heathen mothers, they still attract a lot of that, because they're around the mothers more than they are the fathers. The fathers might be out at war or doing things, governing the nation and stuff. So the woman spends a lot of time, and they could take on a lot of those customs and stuff like that. So even if you get a heathen woman, make sure she's in order, man. She gets in order with things, because they can play a big influence on your children, on the children, man, while you not around. But they married they all married wives of their own kindred, and were blessed in their children, and their seed shall inherit the land. In verse 13, now therefore, my son, love thy brethren, and despise not in thy heart thy brethren, the sons and daughters of thy people, and not taking a wife of them, nor in pride is destruction, and much trouble, and in lewdness is decay, and great want. For lewdness is the mother of famine. Woo, man! I'm telling you, man. Tell you a good example I want to bring out. The king during the time when Yahushua was walking on the earth, this was a king of Israel, was Herod. And I know a lot of you know about Herod, and if you don't know, Herod, he sent out the decree, the hit out on Yahushua. Wanted him killed, man. But this guy, this is one of the things. You would think if with him being a king over Israel, he would be an Israelite. But see, this is the thing. If you look up, give me a second. When you look this up, Herod's lineage, his father, this is his father, Antipater the Idumean. Now, if you are new in this thing, because most people would know Idumean is the Greek word for Edom, and we know that goes back to what? Esau. So Herod was an Edomite, and this guy was a king. So obviously, it's possible Antipater the Idumean was dealing with an Israelite woman, and they had that kid. So he could have probably had, probably brown skin and all that. He could have looked like Barack Obama or something like that. Those are things to think about. Like I was showing the brother earlier, you look at him and you might think Jake's, straight up. But this brother obviously has a father. His father's an Edomite, man. And if I'm wrong, maybe, or maybe Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, forgive me, but I'm just showing an example. When you look, okay, this guy is an Edomite and this is his father, but he's in this thing and he got the fringes and all that, and he's around, but, what's up with that? You know what I'm saying? They tell you people crept in unawares, and like I said, the wheat and the tares, the topic. But yeah, looking at this, Antipater the Idumean, so that's just letting you know, man, what's up. Now, moving on, just showing you like examples of that. That Herod is an example, that brother, and like even some of your celebrities, like here's Bob Marley and Bob Marley's father. Look at his father. His father was an overseer at a plantation in Jamaica, so there go Bob Marley and his father. So Bob Marley would be an Edomite, and he had sons. So his sons are what he is. Moving on. The twins, the TV show Sister, Tia and Tamara. Here's a picture of one of the twins here with the mom and the father. This is like more of an updated one, and he looked like John Elway, man. This is a baby picture of them. Right here. This is, he's an Edomite. So that makes them Edomites. They are terrorists. But people will say black girl magic and all that stuff, black power and stuff, you know, but they're not us, man. You know, and here's another example here. You know, Tracy Ellis Ross, this is her father. You know, her and her father in a picture. You know, and he's obviously an Edomite, and he's actually a Amalekite. You know, because I had looked it up, because I actually like Tracy Ellis Ross. Like, to me, she's very attractive. Nice body, beautiful smile, you know, nice complexion and stuff. Beautiful woman to me, man. You know, I would date her, you know, but yeah, she's and I noticed a thing about Tracy Ellis Ross is that she never dated Jay. She dated a Hamite, man. Matter of fact, I think it was Akon's brother. You know, some people say that Akon's a Jake, but I don't know, man. I think he's a Hamite, man. But she dated his brother, you know, and moving on. Well, here's another picture here. This is Tracy Ellis Ross with her mom, which is Diana Ross. You know, see, the mom is a Jake, man. You know, but just showing you, you know, that how that, you know, you look at her and you would think straight up a black woman, you know, but they're not looking at the father, because we wasn't taught that. But you know, you go to Numbers 1:18, it tells you are what your father is. And here's a picture of Farrakhan and his father. You know, and this is why I was telling you about Islam. This was the kicker. You know, look at Farrakhan and his father, and you know all the stuff that he be exposing and doing and all that. But at the end of the day, this man is an Edomite, man, and he's you know, and he's not of us, man. So what's really good? So it tells you, man, about that religion, man, and it's just really just. It's a stumbling block, man, and it's pulling our people away from their true heritage. So, yeah, there's that, man. There's this woman, I forget her name, man, but just showing you, look, and her two little boys. And look, Edomite father. Here's Eve, and she just had her little boy. You know, she married an Edomite man, you know what I'm saying? But look at the son. You know, and he came out looking straight up like an Edomite too, though. You know, but there's that. There's her and her husband. You know, just showing you, man. And yeah, man, this thing's heavy. I got a few videos too, man. And here's one video right here of this brother, man, that came out and he was just showing you how certain people are that you think or black, or so-called black, so-called
Pav, these people are not black.
Go ahead and scroll up, because I'm going to tell you ahead of time, this is going to hurt a lot of people's feelings. The people I'm about to name on this list is frozen, and they not really black people. You understand? Having melanated skin don't make you a Negro according to blood. So we're going to start off with
Louis Farrakhan.
Louis Farrakhan is not a black man. Now, I know y'all get that confused because of how much he supposedly did for black people. However, he's not a black man. His father is white.
Kamala Harris.
Fade over to Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris, she is not a black woman. Her father is a white man, and her mother is an East Indian. But I know she fooled y'all because she put hot sauce in her bag and made y'all vote for her. But nonetheless, she's not a black woman.
Bob Marley.
Bob Marley, he's not a black man. His father is a white man. But I know he fooled a lot of black people because he was a huge advocate for being a drug addict and smoking all of the weed in the world. However, Bob Marley, he ain't a black man.
Nipsey Hussle.
This one gonna crush a lot of your feelings. But Nipsey Hussle, he's not a black man. He's an Ethiopian. His father is an Ethiopian. But I know he fooled a lot of black people because of the life it is that he lived. Nipsey Hussle died the death of a black man. Nonetheless, he's not a black man. And listen, it ain't nothing personal, man. You understand? I know y'all keep hearing me say the father, because the father's seed plays a significant role in determining what race you belong to. And according to the Bible, you are what your father is. You understand? So it ain't nothing personal, man. You gotta leave your feelings at the door. If y'all don't agree, it's a comment section down below. But the people that's on this list, according to the Bible, whether you like it or not, they not black people.
All right. And now that you have checked that out, I got another video. And I've been looking for this video for a long time, man. And it was in one of my, I found it on Facebook. It was one of my posts years ago. But I was like, wow, I didn't know I had it on there. But this is heavy. And I'm going to tell you, like, not all Edomites, just like we say all Jake, ain't gonna come looking with brown skin and all that kind of stuff. That's true. And the same thing will apply with Edomites as well. So you're gonna have some that look like so-called Negroes. And this is the thing was called the Beckford family. And oh my gosh, you got to check this out. Like, this brother was checking out the lineage and all that of his family, and I'm thinking that this comes from his mom's side, but he found out that their stuff goes back to a so-called white man, and they was really proud about it. And he's looking all disgusted, like, what the? But you know, you are what your father is. So, and I believe that he's you know, this is his mom's side, I believe. I'm not sure, but you know, check the video out, man. And you see for yourself. This is crazy, man.
Daddy, I remember when I was 14, we'd just finished watching an episode of Roots, and I asked you where our family came from, and you told me that one of our relatives, just a couple of generations back, was white. Is that right?
Yeah. My grandfather, my great-grandfather is white.
Could you tell me anything else about him?
His father was a slave master from England. So he came to Hillsbrook in Hanover, and he bought some property there.
How do you feel about having a great-grandfather who was white from England and the son of a slave owner?
We was very proud.
Very proud. And we're still proud about it
Of
because,
course,
you know,
we do.
we're proud to know that our ancestors was of different race.
Yeah.
And because they was white, they was successful people. And then we grew up, we want to be successful too.
Yeah.
And I'm very proud to be a Beckford.
Yes.
Because they're honest working class people, very honest people, like to be on top, like to be leaders,
Yes.
like to be people to respect them.
Do you think, therefore, it's worth me keeping the Beckford name despite it being a slave name?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Keep that
Keep
name.
that name.
Why? Tell me why you think I should...
Because there is our grandparents.
It's our grandparents.
And they taught us, they grows up the right way.
Yes.
You see?
They taught us to respect
Respect people.
and respect the family. And we come up, you will hear us say, cousin Buller.
The amazing thing about talking to Len and Maud was that they were so positive about the Beckford name. They seemed to feel it was a really good thing for them to have, and in particular the fact that they had a great-grandfather who was white was a real prestige for them. They felt, you know, it was a really good thing. It made me feel rather uncomfortable. I felt that they were really living out a Jamaican fantasy, you know, being very dark-skinned people but being able to claim to have a light or white great-grandfather. That doesn't necessarily work the same way for me in England, because I don't have that kind of need to be able to say I had a great-grandfather who was white and feel that that's going to bring me some kind of benefit in the present.
This is Matthew 13, verses 24 through 30. Now check this out. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which soweth good seed in his field. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. You know what I'm saying? This is probably how that Herod came about, you know. But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. So the servants of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, didst not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then have it tares? He said unto them, an enemy had done this. The servant said unto them, Wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? See, like, are we supposed to go round them all up and all that? When you notice you got tares, you know, I just showed you one in the beginning of the video. But when he said, Nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them. Because like I said, that brother he's calling, you know, how he got all the garments and all that stuff, and he's doing, you know, he's obviously around his mom and his kinfolk. Now they're Israelites, because you might go and grab him up and you grabbing some of them up, which are Jakes. You know, those are real true Israelites. So again, he said, but he said, Nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them. See, let both grow together until the harvest. And when in the time of harvest, I will say to the reapers, which that's the angels, that's going into the angels, gather ye together first the tares, and bind them in bundles to burn them, and gather the wheat into my barn. So yeah, that's heavy, man. But that's basically telling you, look at them chemtrails, man. Look at that, y'all. That's wicked, man. Esau, man, something. But yeah, that's basically what it is, man. So we're not supposed to go around doing that. But I'm just showing y'all this for edification's sake and just letting you know, like, hey, we really do got tares amongst us, man. And they go as far as wearing the garments. Some will even call on the names. Yes, it might be a terror unto them and stuff. But hey, there was the video, the brother that showed where the guy was down there, the archaeologist or something, you know, looking up the artifacts and stuff. And he said the name Yahweh, and he obviously was an Edomite, you know. So they'll say the name and stuff like that. Now later on, he probably get nightmares or something. But but yeah, man, just showing you, man, like how serious this thing really is, man. So even though they put on the garments and call on Yahweh Bashim Yoshai, don't mean nothing if you're not a descendant of Jacob, you know. So that's something to really take a hold of. I'm gonna go ahead and bring out just a few more scriptures, and then we'll call it one. Hopefully you are edified too, man, you know. But it was on my spirit to go into this. I didn't really want to, but like I said, it needs to be brought out, you know. This is John chapter 4 verse 22. Ye worship ye know not what. So yeah, they might worship and all that, just like the Christian church, man. But they don't know what they worshiping. We know what we worship, for salvation is for the Jews, you know. And you know, the Jews, that's, you know, we're talking about the southern kingdom and everything, but yeah, it's for Israel. It's for Israel, all of Israel, the Israelites, 12 tribes, you know. But that's yeah, you worship, but you don't know what you worshiping, you know what I'm saying? So you know, just because they have on the garments and everything, that don't mean they Israel, man. I'm gonna pull up one more scripture and then we'll end this. I'm gonna go to the book of Romans, the 8th chapter and the 16th verse. Because it's not a color thing, so don't get it twisted. You know, I'm definitely not one of those people that say it's all about color and stuff like that. You know, shoot, I pray that man's father is not an Edomite, you know what I'm saying? If he's being diligent and stuff like that. Like, I know him from the music, but I just find it very, very strange, you know. He was very open about, you know, how his people's, you know, his father was a Edomite and everything. He didn't say the word Edomite, but, you know, he was always talking about his father as a white man, so-called Caucasian man, you know. But he was always, like, raised under his mom, you know, and you start to learn, and you're gonna be around your cousins and stuff like that from her side, and a lot of them are probably done got into knowing that they Israel and stuff like that, you know. This is all, you know, Louisville and stuff like that, because, you know, I was on the music scene over there. But Romans 8:16, the Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of God, you know. So that's what it's all about at the end of the day, you know. It's a spiritual thing, you know, because, you know, we can look on the outside and it's not always about that, because then again, like I showed you the pictures of Eve's kid, it came out straight up like an Edomite. But when you look at the guy that just won the Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes, his child came out looking just like that, you know what I'm saying? But his father is an Israelite, you know, so that would make him an Israelite and his child an Israelite, you know. So there's that right there. So it's a heavy thing, man. And I'm gonna tell you, Esau knows this. This is why, like, but back then, I think a lot of them so-called the ones that was handling the transatlantic slave trade, you know, the ships and the plantation owners, I don't think they knew this, because a lot of those kids that was coming over, you know, because they was raping Eve and stuff like that. So, you know, a lot of Eves came over here pregnant, and they was doing the Northern Kingdom like that too. So, but those kids were still put into captivity. So a lot of Edomites went into captivity under us as well. You know what I'm saying? So, You know, and them children could still be back today, and now they wearing the garments and all that. You thinking that they Israel, but you know they were victims of that. But now when you look at it now, a lot of them they starting to take on like, hey, this is my child, and they understand that they are they are the seed of their fathers and stuff like that. That's why like you got like Tracy Ellis Ross and them, and she's living pretty good and stuff like that. And her dad, and on top of that, her dad's an Amalekite. So, hey man, that shows you, man. You know, but Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders of the nation of Israel, and shalom to you brothers and sisters. Until the next episode, shalom.